the story's never been told. I think that's one of the more interesting things, and one has to ask why. Why would such a compelling story remain hidden in the archives for 100+ years? And that's something I still don't really understand. Part of it is, I think, you know, when Lieutenant Gillmore came down, there was some anger within the military hierarchy of the whole debacle in the first place. This was an unnecessary gamble, a grasp for glory that never should have occurred. He never should have been captured. So I think they didn't want to play that up. The rescue was more of mopping up a mistake and trying to keep it quiet. Second is, I think the story actually, it covers two aspects of the military services branches. So it's a Navy story. It starts out as a Navy story, but ends as an Army story. So there is no linkage in that narrative. You would actually have to have a broader perspective to understand how those two pieces connect. But the Devil's Causeway is more than just a story of these U.S. Navy sailors, the ambush, their captivity, and their subsequent rescue in the Cordilleras. It actually is a tale that provides a fresh lens and new insights into the Philippine-American War. It does this because it brings together three separate perspectives. You have the American, Spanish, and Filipino perspective unfolding at the same time. The Americans there just starting their pacification of the Philippines, the Spaniards watching the sunset on their empire, and the expectant Philippine revolutionaries fighting for what they hope will be their independence. Another aspect of the story, beyond the ambush and capture of the Gillmore Party prisoners and their rescue, are the men who were left behind. And that's one of the areas of the narrative that most fascinated me. We had the 4 men who were killed nearly outright during the ambush, who were buried in Belair, and the story of actually repatriating their remains and the great lengths that went to ensuring that those remains came home to the families in America was heroic in its proportions. And then there's the boy Venville, the young boy from Selwood, Oregon, who was left behind in Belair. And here's a story of a young man who was shot up during an ambush, severely wounded, left behind, struggled to survive, held in captivity, and then essentially sold out by his captors, and who faced a very unfortunate death in the hands of the Ilonggo headhunters in the Sierra Madres.